Good night, viewers. Here are tonight's top headlines. A pedal cyclist dies following a collision on number 28 public road. Guyanese cricket legend Lance Gibbs celebrates his 90th birthday. A fire destroys a home in number 22 village, West Coast Burbus. The Kyeter news publisher calls for a nationwide lights-out protest against resource looting. Police utilize drones in the search for an abducted man in Buxton. A major fire at the DDL power plant results in significant losses. President Ali honored with the Caribbean Global Leader Award in London. The PNC and AFC demand the resignation of Minister Ramson over the Burroughs School incident. And police conduct a noise nuisance enforcement exercise at Eclipse Sports Bar in Leonora. Stay tuned for the full stories. Police utilize drones in search for abducted man in Buxton. The Guyana police force has deployed drones to assist in the search for Joshua David, known as Bricks, who was reportedly abducted from Main Street, Georgetown, on Thursday. The search took place on Saturday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the backlands of Buxton, East Coast Demerara, involving both aerial and ground teams. David was last seen outside the new thriving Chinese restaurant while in the company of a friend. Reports indicate that CCTV footage captured the abduction, showing suspects arriving on 2 motorcycles and in a car, forcibly taking David and fleeing north along Main Street. In connection with this case, the police have issued wanted bulletins for 5 suspects: Aaron Aline, alias Katz, Alpha Poole, Wayne Barker, Dwayne Griffith, and Osefo Peters, alias Sadist. Authorities are urging the public to provide any information related to these individuals or the incident. The police remain committed to locating David and ensuring his safe return. Any tips or leads can be reported directly to law enforcement. Fire destroys home in number 22 village, West Coast Burbus. A family of 7 is now homeless following a devastating fire that completely gutted their 2-story concrete house on September 29, 2024. The fire, of unknown origin, also affected a bar and salon located in the same yard, although those properties remained unscathed. The incident began around 5:05 p.m. when one of the sisters living in the house heard a noise and discovered flames in the upper flat. An alarm was raised, and the Guyana Fire Service, GFS, was contacted for assistance. In dramatic footage circulating on social media, firefighters can be seen on the roof of the salon attempting to control the blaze. Despite their efforts, the house was engulfed in flames, leading to the collapse of the roof and shattered windows. Tragically, nothing from inside the house was salvaged. At the time of the fire, 6 of the 7 residents were home, but fortunately, no injuries were reported. The community is rallying to support the affected family during this difficult time. Pedal cyclist dies following collision on number 28 public road. Stanford Benjamin, a 63-year-old pedal cyclist from number 28 village, tragically lost his life in a traffic accident on Saturday afternoon. The incident occurred at approximately 2 p.m. on the number 28 public road and involved a motor vehicle, PZZ 7256, driven by 65-year-old Malcolm Nurse of New Amsterdam, Burbus. According to police reports, Benjamin was cycling west along the southern side of the road when Nurse attempted to pass him. It is alleged that Benjamin swerved into the path of the vehicle, resulting in a collision that caused him to fall onto the roadway. Emergency services were called, and Benjamin was found unconscious. He was transported to the Fort Wellington Public Hospital for medical treatment, but sadly succumbed to his injuries shortly after arrival. Authorities are continuing their investigation into the circumstances surrounding the accident. Our thoughts are with the family and friends of Stanford Benjamin during this difficult time. Guyanese cricket legend Lance Gibbs celebrates 90th birthday. Today, the cricketing world celebrates the 90th birthday of a true Guyanese icon, Lance Gibbs. Renowned for his lissom figure and unusually long fingers, Gibbs revolutionized the art of spin bowling with his unique chest-on action, producing remarkable turn and bounce coupled with fierce accuracy. Gibbs made history as the first spinner to surpass 300 test wickets, finishing his illustrious career with 309 wickets from 79 tests. His extraordinary ability to bowl economically saw him concede runs at an astonishing rate of just 1.99 per over. His peak performance came between 1960 and 1962, during which he achieved remarkable feats, including a hat-trick against Australia and taking 19 wickets in a single series. Gibbs also delivered a stunning 8-38 against India in Barbados, with all 8 wickets coming in just a 15-over spell, a performance unmatched in his career. Gibbs' impact extended beyond the Test arena. He also had a successful stint in county cricket with Warwickshire, notably claiming 131 wickets in 1971 at an average of under 19. After retiring, Gibbs continued to contribute to the sport, managing the West Indies team during their 1991 tour of England. As we celebrate Lance Gibbs today, we honor his incredible contributions to cricket and the lasting legacy he has left in the hearts of fans around the world. Major fire at DDL power plant results in significant losses. A fire at the Demerara Distillers Limited, DDL, power plant facility on Friday afternoon has resulted in the destruction of 9 transformers, 7 generators, and a substantial amount of oil. The Guyana Fire Service, GFS, reported that the fire originated in the generator enclosure around 4:43 p.m., with the first firefighting unit arriving on the scene just 7 minutes later. 6 firefighting units, including 2 water tenders and a fireboat, were dispatched to manage the situation under the leadership of Chief Fire Officer Gregory Wickham. A total of 22 firefighters worked diligently to contain the blaze, ensuring that it remained confined to a single building and preventing further damage. The fire caused significant damage, destroying a forklift, 9 transformers, 23 drums of castor oil, and 7 Caterpillar generators. Fortunately, the quick response helped protect the nearby chemical bond and fuel storage areas, the GFS stated. DDL's fire response team acted promptly upon noticing the fire at approximately 4:40 p.m., working to control the blaze until GFS units arrived. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, as there were no personnel in the facility at the time of the fire. The GFS is currently investigating the cause of the fire to determine its origin and prevent future incidents. They commended the efforts of all personnel involved in managing this emergency, emphasizing their role in averting a potentially catastrophic situation for the company. PNC and AFC demand resignation of Minister Ramson over handling of Burroughs School incident. The People's National Congress Reform, PNC, and the Alliance for Change, AFC, have jointly called for the resignation of Youth, Culture and Sport Minister Charles Ramson Jr. following his handling of a recent issue involving Ivor Tom, the administrator of the Burroughs School of Art. Minister Ramson has been accused of verbally berating Mr. Tom over a parking matter while failing to address a racist slur directed at him by the same individual. It was reported that Ramson remarked that Tom's image did not reflect the Culture Ministry during their meeting. AFC leader Nigel Hughes expressed that Ramson's failure to clarify his comments demonstrates his inability to effectively represent the country in cultural matters, stating, "We believe that the minister, if he possesses any level of dignity, should offer his resignation immediately." He emphasized that the minister's remarks were offensive and unacceptable. PNC executive member Nima Flubes echoed these sentiments, labeling the minister's behavior as a display of arrogance and racial bias, and indicative of his unsuitability for the role. Flubes asserted that such conduct cannot be tolerated within public office. Although Mr. Tom initially resigned following the meeting, he later withdrew his resignation after intervention from the vice president. Police conduct noise nuisance enforcement exercise at Eclipse Sports Bar in Leonora. In response to multiple resident complaints regarding noise disturbances, the police conducted a noise nuisance enforcement exercise at the Eclipse Sports Bar in Leonora, West Coast Demerara, early Saturday morning under the leadership of an assistant superintendent of police. The operation, which took place between 12:01 a.m. and 2:23 a.m., involved a thorough assessment of the premises. Upon inspection, officers found no significant evidence of loud music escaping from the bar, which was noted to be tightly sealed to minimize noise. The double-door entry system effectively contained sound, allowing minimal music to escape when patrons entered or exited. However, the police did observe other issues, including patrons lingering outside the bar and engaging in public drinking and urination, groups congregating at nearby food outlets, instances of abnormal social behavior among some patrons, potentially leading to disruptions. To address these concerns, police will increase patrols in the area to maintain order and ensure compliance with local laws. President Ali honored with Caribbean Global Leader Award in London. On Saturday evening, President Dr. Irfan Ali received the prestigious Caribbean Global Leader Award from the U.S.-based Caribbean Global Awards during a gala event in London. Accompanied by First Lady Arya Ali, the president was recognized for his unwavering dedication and exceptional leadership in promoting Guyana's interests and fostering regional cooperation. President Ali's commitment to advancing progress and prosperity across the Caribbean was highlighted in a post on his social media. Earlier this year, he emerged as the top choice in the People's Choice voting for the award, garnering an unprecedented 609 valid votes, demonstrating significant public engagement in recognizing exemplary Caribbean leadership. The president has emphasized that Guyana's prosperity should benefit the entire region. As chairman of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, from January to June 2024, he is actively leading initiatives aimed at cutting the region's food import bill by 25% by 2025 and participating in various projects focused on food, energy, and climate security, supported by the United States government. Kai-Tor News publisher calls for nationwide lights-out protest against resource looting. Glenn Lall, publisher of Kai-Tor News, has announced a countrywide lights-out protest to take place every night for 1 month, beginning October 1, 2024. This initiative aims to express citizens' disapproval of the government's handling of Guyana's wealth and natural resources. Starting at 7 p.m. each evening, citizens are encouraged to turn off their lights for 5 minutes, symbolizing their frustration with the government's failure to renegotiate the 2% oil contract with ExxonMobil. Lall emphasized the need for better resource management, urging that without action, the riches of Guyana's oil wealth continue to benefit foreign corporations rather than the local population. While our leaders sit idly by, foreign companies are profiting immensely from our resources while we are left with little more than scraps, Lall stated during his radio program, The Glenn Lall Show. He criticized the current subsidies that benefit both citizens and corporations, highlighting the disparity in wealth distribution. This protest is a stand against the exploitation of our resources and the vision of a future where our children inherit a legacy of poverty instead of prosperity, he added. Lall called for unity among Guyanese, urging everyone to participate regardless of their location, at home, work, or even in their vehicles. We must send a powerful message to our leaders. We will not tolerate this looting any longer. Together, let us demand an end to these giveaways so that all Guyanese can thrive from the resources that are rightfully ours, Lall concluded.